Hey friends, Karen Basket DIYer here. Welcome back for another fun tumbler tutorial with me. All right, you guys, I drop tumbler tutorials every Sunday at 6 a.m. So please be sure to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you get weekly updates on my tumbler tutorials. Okay, so this one is a Powerwash tumbler, and yeah, you've probably seen Powerwash tumblers before, but if you're a CrystaLac user, I have got a great tip for you in here, something that has been super helpful for me, and I'm going to show you the do's, the don'ts, the big mistake I made. So here's the tumbler that I have for you. It is a Mama Bear Powerwash tumbler. This one just happens to be for my daughter-in-law, Weston's mommy. I was supposed to have had this ready for her in time for Mother's Day, but that just did not happen. So just stay tuned, follow along, and I'll walk you through the steps and show you what not to do and how I created this one. I'm starting out here with my prepped and sanded tumbler. I'm using a 20 ounce from MAKERFLO. I'm using the CrystaLac's Flippin' Awesome paint, and this is pink Pizazz. I just like to give it a really generous coat, and using these CrystaLac brushes is super helpful too. They provide just a really smooth finish. And I'm generous with my paint layer, like I said, because I'm going to be using this to adhere my glitter. I'm using Twinkle Mauve, which is a fine cut glitter from MAKERFLO as well. Just giving it nice, good coverage. I end up just dumping my whole bottle usually over the whole entire tumbler just to make sure I've covered every single bit of that tumbler. Once I got it nice and glittered, I set it aside and allowed that to dry for 4 hours. After the 4-hour dry time, I then grabbed my glitter glue and sealed the whole entire tumbler up with the glitter glue as you see here. I ended up doing 2 layers. You have to allow 2 hours of dry time between each layer, but doing 2 layers, helps you achieve smoother, bright tone layers faster. Somehow or another, I missed videoing the steps showing you the process of applying Brite Tone. Basically, you apply a new layer of Brite Tone every 4 hours. Keep your layers nice and thin. I applied about 4 layers, and then I just did a wet sand all over my tumbler until you see the kind of dull look that I have here. So 4 layers of Brite Tone every 4 hours, then a wet sand to achieve this look. Next, I went ahead and cut out my vinyl decal, which I'm going to be doing a Peekaboo technique on this tumbler. So I just went with black. It doesn't really matter what you use. I did use Orcal 631, so it'll remove easily. Next, I weeded out my vinyl and then applied it right to my tumbler. Again, I'm using Orcal 631, which is a temporary vinyl, so that it'll be easier to remove after my power wash. I'm going to be doing the Dawn Power Wash technique on this tumbler, which requires the Dawn Power Wash soap and spray paint. I'm using white matte spray paint. So you give your Dawn dish soap a good shake and then spritz it on your tumbler. Keep in mind that wherever you spritz the bubbles, your paint does not adhere to the tumbler in those spots. Then you just rinse it off with water. Okay, so this technique did not work out for me today, and I'm about to explain why. So I brought the tumbler inside after washing it off, and this is what it looks like. I'm not at all happy with how the power wash turned out, so I'm about to use straight up acetone and just wipe it right off and do it all over again. I mean, the bottom looks great. That's the look I'm going for, but I broke my own rule. I always try to spray a clear coat of Rustoleum 2 times clear over my last layer of CrystaLac in order for the white spray paint or your power wash spray paint to work. It's just a little trick I learned a while back, and I just completely forgot to do it. So you will see me do that again here in just a little bit after I get this cleaned off. I'm just going to be using acetone a paper towel, and I'm wearing a glove to do this, but the acetone does not hurt the CrystaLac. You can just, absorb your paper towel with it and then wipe it right off and start all over with your power wash. But like I mentioned, I'm going to do that clear coat. I just found that helps the paints to bond properly. I had sanded that last layer of CrystaLac, but apparently I hadn't sanded it very well. So yeah, definitely doing my clear coat trick before attempting the power wash again. But I just wanted to make sure you guys saw that because it's a learning lesson for sure. And I like to keep things real for y'all. Okay, so I just finished wiping that all off with the acetone, and now then I'm back out spraying the clear matte finish Rustoleum 2 times over this tumbler. Okay, so my tumbler looks a little cloudy after, what happened and all, but I'm just gonna go with it. I think it's gonna be okay. In the long run, I will make it work, but adding that clear coat matte finish is really what will help the power wash to bond, in my experience. I am outside, obviously, so you're gonna hear the sounds of nature in this video. Okay, so got my Dawn, shaking it up really well, giving it a good spritz all over. And I've already shaken the paint up some. I want the front to have a little more. Right there. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let it sit for a sec. Then wash. Now that, to me, is a perfect looking power wash. That's the look I was going for. And I hope you can tell the difference in what that looked like versus, the other earlier, last night when I was doing it. Okay, so my power wash paint has now been dry for about an hour, and that just looks so much better than it did the first time I tried it. So, like I said, my experience doing the clear coat makes it all work. Okay, so now then I'm just going to weed off my vinyl. And I know this doesn't seem to show up very well, but don't worry, I have a plan. Not finished yet. The sooner you can get your vinyl off, the better. Otherwise, it will eventually stick and be a real hot mess to get off. So get your vinyl off as soon as you can. You can kind of test it, see if it's gonna lift for you, be stuck or whatever, but it's just kind of a trial and error. I get that question a lot. So this, because of spray paint and all, needs to dry for 48 hours before I can apply another layer of CrystaLac. So got to set it aside and let it dry for 48 hours, and then I'll be back. In the meantime, I went ahead and cut my vinyl. I'm using the metallic textured gold vinyl from TeckWrap, and I have a link for you below in the description to my Amazon storefront, or just the actual link for the TeckWrap vinyl will be down there. I love this vinyl so much. Super easy to weed and just adds a little bit of extra character to your tumblers. All right, it's time for this one's first layer of Brite Tone. It has been gassing off for well over 48 hours. So it is safe to put its first layer of Brite Tone on and bring back the sparkle. Just remember with Brite Tone to keep your layers thin and reapply a new layer every 4 hours until you achieve your super shiny, smooth finish. Here are the end results. Okay, you guys, so I hope that my mistake of forgetting to put my Rustoleum 2 times clear coat on was actually helpful for you. Don't know what I was thinking. I just have a lot going on these days with the flipping the farm and all, so I just overlooked that step. But you know, you got to see it firsthand what the results are if you don't use it versus using it. So again, I hope you found that little mistake helpful. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and that you will like, subscribe, comment, follow, ring the notification bell, do all those fun things for me, and just be on the lookout for future tumbler tutorials. I really do appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week.